What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse episode 080, Saturday, August 21st. I am Sabi Ice Cream, joined as always by my dude, Rick. What's up, Mr. Rick?
Yo, what's up, everybody? We got a good show coming up. If you're just tuning in, this is the start of the show. If you've been listening to us, you heard us talk about music for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that conversation, you can check out the Raw podcast. Should be uploaded later tonight or tomorrow. But in the meantime, you can catch us right now talking about video games. Let's start up. You know how we always start, man. Tell the people what you've been playing.
I checked out Road 96.
Yes, yes, we were excited for that one. Did it live up to the hype?
So here's the thing.
Oh, here we go.
Um, well, no, actually, so the thing that I experienced with this game was like excitement and then uh like come on man and then a little okay and a little all right and then like I had like a wave of emotions with this game that like I was unsure how to fully deal with.
Oh,
Um
okay.
because I wasn't entirely sure what it was doing. So the whole premise of the game is like it's like a hitchhiking simulator, but everything is like procedurally generated. So the
Yeah,
entire adventure, you're trying to like you're in a country that's in like some political turmoil. Um, there's like protests going on and there's this radical organization who's trying to like I guess overthrow the government or something. And in the middle of all that, you're trying to cross the border to like escape it all. And you're just one of several hundreds of teens who are trying to like exodus the country. Um, and in the midst of all that, there's so everything's procedurally generated. So there's several
mm,
characters you can run into along your journey, and random stuff happens. You don't really know like who you're gonna run into or what's gonna happen. Or there's several different ways you can tackle each encounter, and depending on what choices you make and how you do, different things can happen. And so here's the one thing I didn't know when I started, because we played the demo like a month or two ago, and I was like, I'm not sure what's like going on in the game. They kind of just throw you in. It's the same thing here. Like none that still hadn't changed. Like once you actually play the full game, they do still like throw you into this world and kind of expect you to. They don't really expect you to know all the sides of the struggle, but they want you to kind of
mm.
just make choices. And like I felt like the political stuff in the game was very heavy-handed a little bit, and that kind of put me off. Like there's an obvious message that the writers of this game are trying to convey about like dictatorships and fascism and the current like political state of the world. I'm not sure where the guys are from that developed this game, but you can tell they have some thoughts about some things. uh, so like that stuff kind of put me off because the characters in this game are really well written. They're really likable characters, and when you spend time with them, you kind of forget about all the other like bullshit that's happening. But then when you leave them, because you got to like move on and go on your own way, uh, then you're like reminded about all like the other like political shit, and like that's the shit that I kind of just didn't like. Um, but what else? But so like it was like a love hate relationship, kind of.
Yeah.
But like the more I played, the more I kind of just I didn't mind it as much. I don't know. It's kind of it's weird. Cuz that stuff was still there, but I don't know. I guess I stopped taking it as seriously and just started enjoying it more for the game that it was because I did 3 runs. I think I did maybe like 3 or 4 runs. When you finish, once you cross the border, what it does is it gives you a different teen. It says like
Oh,
you watch like a new like a news uh thing on the television is going, and it says, "Hey, here's some missing teens that are missing right now," and you pick one, and it'll say,
okay.
"Hey, this kid is like 13 years old. He's got $12 in his pocket, and he's got a whole bunch of energy, and he's this far away from the border." And you pick a new kid, and that new kid encounters has to make this he takes a different route, makes a new journey, but it's the same thing. He's trying to get to the border as well, and you're still running into the same characters that you ran into as the other kid, except you're a different person. So I ran into one girl who, like, when I was one kid, we ended up getting arrested together, and then but I eventually like found my way out, and then eventually crossed the border. And then when I got to the new kid, I found that girl again. She was still arrested, but I helped her break free, and that was like, okay, that was interesting. Like, I wasn't sure how they were gonna do this, but yeah, they like pull it off so that you're running into the same characters, but you're a different person. So like, it's not necessarily that your individual story matters. It's the story of like everyone else you meet along the way, and how you interact with them and the choices you make uh, as these like different people. It was interesting um, that
It's
they
really
did it that
cool.
way. Yeah.
So would you
Um,
say like it works then? Like this like procedural road trip system they have, would you say it works?
so it works so much that you can't really you can't tell that it's procedural. I mean, when you're playing it, it just seems like it was all written this way. Um, but like you forget that it's procedural. You forget that everything's randomly generated. Like, as a matter of fact, I don't even know anymore if it is actually randomly, like, how procedural it is. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
it's like a roguelike. Uh, but there's like no combat or no enemies or anything. It's just the people you meet and the choices you make, and then that's it. And then you get a different character. You're on a new run, and you get some abilities that some of the characters can teach you. Like, there's like there's like these like thieves, a duo of thieves called Mitch and something else, and I ran into them as one kid, and they taught me how to lockpick, and then that lockpicking ability carries through to everyone else, all the other kids that you play as well.
That's cool.
Um, so, and then those abilities gain you certain. There's multiple ways to get across the border. So like, there's like a hacking ability that I didn't have. That there's a way to like hack a door so you can get in. Um, there's a test you can take to get across the border, like officially. Like the police like have like you can like apply as like an over shores worker. You can apply, but you have to like take a test to do it.
Gee,
Like, I thought that was pretty cool. So there's like multiple ways to get across. And the lockpicking ability, like, I lockpicked my way into a truck that was trying to cross, and then there's like a whole like thing with that where they're like inspecting the truck, and they put dogs in the truck, and like they're sniffing around. You kind of have to like hide. Um, like, all of that stuff just seemed like natural. It just seemed like there is that roguelike element to it, but it felt so natural. You know what I mean? Like, most roguelikes, you can tell, you can see the seams, you can see where it's trying to like manipulate things, but this
yeah.
just seems so natural. I guess that's one of the things I liked about it, was that it just seemed like, here's this story, here's these characters. You don't get all of their story at once, so every time you meet them, you get like a different thing, and the thing that happened before in your previous run carries into the next run. So when you meet them as a new kid, they'll talk about some of the stuff that happened before, and it just all feels very natural.
That's really cool.
It's extremely
I like that.
impressive. Um, but yeah, so if you're on the fence about this game, I say check it out, man. It's only $20. So like I didn't expect it to be too long, but it's the way they do it where it's like they're short runs, but each run you get some new context about the world and the characters and the story and stuff like that. So
It's really
um,
cool.
I
I'll check
really
it
like
out.
it.
It's on my list for sure.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah, I
it's
like it.
hilarious too. It's got some really funny moments. Uh,
Yeah.
there was a guy I ran into like in a like a little homeless like trailer park, and he was like, "I'm dancing, man. I'm dancing. I'm dancing, Steve. You can't keep up with me, but you can try." And then like, there's a hold on, because I'm gonna show you the animation that plays, because it's fucking hilarious. Uh, he's like, "You can't dance with me. I'm on another level." Uh, and then this animation plays, and it's fucking
I
hilarious.
can't see it in
I was
the
gonna clip this
Discord.
out. Oh shit, I didn't send it to you. I was gonna clip this out, but I need to find like the best way to do it. But it's so hilarious. Yeah, let me rewind it. Let me rewind it again. Um, but yeah, it's just yeah. Like the camera movements you make here is just fucking. But yeah, I don't know. It's got a lot of good moments. So I'm like, okay, like I like this stuff. The political stuff kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, but it's got a lot of charm to it. So
I love that line where he asks, "Do you know where I can sleep for free?" And he's like, "Oh, there's some cardboard next to that guy, but he's a snorer." Like that's the problem. Not sleeping on cardboard.
yeah,
It's just that guy snores.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's a fucking character, man. That's a character. I love
So
this.
I'm sure eventually you can run into. It tells you what like the percentage of how many the characters you met, the percentage of how much you've seen of them. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm sure you can easily get like see everything there is to see and be done with it. It's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, I got like 2% more of this character. I don't know where it is. Like it's pretty easy to get it all and just see it all. So
That's cool. I really like this. All
yeah.
right, it's on my list. That's dope. I like it. Anything else that you want to go over with the people?
Um, there was just I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 13 a couple
I
days
remember
ago.
that.
Like that was my Friday chill game for last week, and yeah, that game's still you know, one of the things that came up while I was playing this, there was another guy in there called Elemental Chevalier, and
Mhm.
he said I was talking about Hope. If you remember, Hope is like one of the kid characters,
Yeah.
and he's like a little whiny little bitch. But one of the things that came up was that he's like one of the more realistically written child characters in like these kind of
Yeah.
games, because most of the time in these games like the child characters are written like adults. Like they have so much more, they have so much maturity and so much agency that you don't believe that they're actually like a kid, or if they were a kid they're like royalty and they've been like trained for this kind of stuff. But Hope is written realistically, whereas like he's a whiny little bitch. His mom dies and he's crying about it, and you're like, "Oh, kid, shut the fuck up!"
Not
Like
just
the
that,
whole,
but he tries to kill the guy that like killed his mom
yeah,
without
yeah,
any fucking plan at all.
yeah,
Just yeah. Like,
um,
yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't like. I think is unfairly criticized is that he's whiny, he's not very mature. He has this like fake maturity where he thinks he's a lot more mature than he is.
yeah,
And like that's I've ever fucking talked to a kid before, like that's how they are.
yeah.
So
I
yeah.
like Final Fantasy 13. I don't think it's the greatest game ever made, but it's got really neat mechanics that
Yeah,
you don't get to see until you spent like 24 hours. They really just slow drip it to you, um, and that's
yeah,
really the game's biggest issue. I think is just that they don't let you play with the mechanics. Uh,
yeah. The game has you on a leash for a very long time.
yeah, but
Yeah, and if you don't like playing with a leash on, like, get comfortable because it's gonna be on for at least like 25, 30 hours.
yeah. But I like that game. And then we
Yeah.
played yesterday. We played We Were Here.
Oh God, great idea, but not the best execution, man.
Yeah, like
Uh
the game's very buggy. It's some of the puzzles were just not fun. Some of them are great, but you get to a point
yeah,
where it's just like, man. And then the checkpoint system is like seemed fine, but then they like at the point we got to, like, it just sent us back two puzzles, and it's like, dude, we got to do this before we can do the thing that we're actually struggling on. Um,
yeah, that sucked. And that fucking chess one was frustrating. Not
oh
even
yeah,
like the fact that you didn't know anything about chess, because like we can get around that. But the first time we tried it, it was like not working. Like I had to pick up. I wish I could show you what I was looking at, dude, but there was like a film reel I had to pick up and put into a projector. And every time I would try to pick it up, it would not work. It wouldn't let me pick it up.
yeah,
And I thought, like, am I doing something wrong? Is there like a glitch here?
yeah.
And it
So
wasn't
for
until like you died and we restarted that it let me do it.
for the people that don't know, we were here is like it's a series of asymmetrical co-op games where each player is like isolated from the other player, and they have a puzzle that they need to solve, but they don't have you don't have all the pieces on your side. So you have to talk to the other player and say, "Hey, what do you see? Because I got a thing over here that I need to solve, and I don't have the tools I need to solve it." So you have to communicate back and forth, like, okay, I see this, okay, well, I see this over here, and you have to kind of tell each other like how to solve each other's puzzles. Um, it's really cool idea, but I think the execution on some of these puzzles is just not great. um,
Yeah, like the first one that you did was pretty cool because like it just dropped me off in like a library, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here. And it took us a second to figure out we can communicate with each other. And you came out to me like, yeah, I see like a wall with like a blue eye and a red eye. And in front of me, there's like a poster of like two different eye colors going from left to right. And between them, there's like a symbol like matching that color. So I had to tell you, like, oh, you see blue and red? It's these two symbols. Like, it's really neat. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, you have to experience it, but
yeah,
it's super neat. And I really, really liked what I was playing
yeah.
until it got to some of the bullshit that was just like not working.
It's worth trying out because the first game is free to play. Um, so
Yeah, it's worth trying for sure.
I just hope that the later games are better because they're not free. So if you're paying for
Yeah.
it, then I expect a certain level of quality. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
it
had
was
fun with it
interesting.
though. Like,
Yeah.
some of them were fucking annoying. Like, God damn it. That one where you're in that like labyrinth and I had like a map that showed me like where the landmarks and stuff were.
Oh yeah.
Um that one was annoying as fuck because like you had like no landmarks to go off of. So I had to like, okay, where are you? You're here. Let me look at the map and reorient myself to figure out where you are. And you had no sense of directions. I couldn't tell you go north, east, west because it didn't fucking make any sense to you. And on top of that, the landmarks only showed up on the map if I pulled the switch and brought down the chandelier to shine a light on it. And it was a timed thing. So every time it would fucking time out, I had to go back
Oh,
up the
I
stairs,
didn't know that. I don't
flip
think you
that
said
switch, and come back down. No, I didn't because I was doing it like really quick and seamless. But
that.
yeah. And the one with the chess puzzle was hard because it was like a video showing you like what pieces to move. But it would just play the fucking video, and I'd have to rewind the projector and manually play it again to like see that video. So every step we were taking, I would have to rewind it and play it again and watch it through again to get back to where we were. It was
Yeah.
fucking annoying.
And like the longer it took, I was like slowly dying of like I was
Yeah,
freezing
you
to
were
death.
dying. There's a time limit. Yeah.
Can you see my thing? Here's I'm playing it
Yeah,
back
I
now.
can.
So like the longer I was in there, the more like the fringes would like ice over. So like I couldn't see shit at a certain point. um so
And I had no idea what the pieces looked like to you. To me, they were like the symbols, like the chess symbols. It
oh
was a video that was playing, and it was like a board. It was like a board someone had drawn the symbols on, and they were like moving the symbols back and forth. I didn't see any physical pieces. So that's why I was like, look for the king piece. And I was trying to describe to you what a king looks like. Now
yeah.
that I see what these
I mean,
pieces look like,
if I knew how to play chess, I would know where the king would be in
yeah.
position. I wouldn't have to like see it, but yeah. Yeah, it's worth
Yeah,
checking out.
it's
It's free to
yeah.
play. So if you got a buddy, um, load it up and just check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth like a try. And if you like it, I'm still even after like what we had to deal with, the stuff that didn't work. The stuff that did worked so well. I do kind of want to get the sequels and hope that it's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
because it's a paid product. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it later. But yeah, that was fun. What else did we play? We played Phasmaphobia again. I was impressed with some of the stuff they added to it since the last time we played,
Yeah.
which like I think we started playing it when it came out. We haven't touched it since. They've added a lot of quality of life changes. You still can't fucking run, and the animations are still jank as fuck, but I like them, so I don't mind. The
It's
ghosts are a lot
mostly
more aggressive now.
yeah. The AI of the ghost are like because we were playing like on amateur on the smallest location, just so we'd be like, let's get into this on easy mode first, and then work our way up. But nah,
Yeah.
dude, the easy mode is not really easy anymore. Those ghosts like were furious,
Yeah.
like off the jump. And then even when like we were like got close to figuring out like one of them, we were like, man, it's not showing the stuff that we think it should be showing, or we had the crucifix on the floor, and I'm like, which one of these like wants the crucifix? And uh, yeah, some of them were just really difficult on amateur. I can't even imagine what professional is like anymore. But
Yeah.
um,
But I had fun with it still. Like it's still
yeah,
Phasmophobia is a fun experience, man. Like
yeah,
it's like what, like $20, definitely worth it. It's a fun experience you really can't get with any other game. I liked it. And for me, I started actually went through my backlog and tried to play some like old games I haven't finished. And I haven't touched Bravely Default 2 in like 5 months.
nice.
So I went back and played through that. Normally, if it's been that long since I played a JRPG, I'll start over. But the thing with Bravely Default 2 is that it's so like, how can I word it? The game's very memorable and like how it plays that even 5 months later, I picked it back up again. I was like, okay, I remember what I was doing and not where I was going, like story wise, but like my characters, what build I had around them, like what each character's job was, why I picked the jobs I did, and the abilities I did. Like I remembered all of that when I booted the game back up. And the game has a great like menu to tell you like where to go next, so I didn't get lost story wise. All in all, still a great game. It is probably one of the most like creative turn-based RPGs I've played ever. It's a very cool system where I'm not going to go into a lot of details right now. There's a lot behind it, but the game has so much expression in how you build your team because the job system is so deep and every job provides so many cool benefits and weaknesses. So it's cool like trying to come up with a hyper character that has the best parts of jobs while their own strengths can cover the weaknesses of for the other jobs. Um The stories are really interesting. The characters are really fun to like listen, have them talk to each other. Still great game. Still great game. I still love it, and I recommend everyone if you have a Switch, go pick it up. If you don't like turn-based RPGs, this one actually might change your mind because of how different the turn-based system is. Go play it. I love this game. And I'm still
Nice.
playing Ender Lilies Quietest of the Night. That's still really fun. That's a really good 2D Metroidvania, Dark Souls inspired game. Great art style, beautiful music, very, very rough combat system, but it doesn't do the Dark Souls thing where it like punishes you and it's like, oh, you died, come back, get your shit again. It's like, no, you died, start back at the checkpoint, go through it again. So it does a Super Meat Boy thing where dying's not a huge like hindrance. You just gotta play through it, just play through again. But it gets around it by making some of the stuff you encounter so hard and almost unfair. But because you can just get right back into it, it doesn't feel too bad. So I really like it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing, and they're both great games. You can get Bravely Default. I think it's still like $60. And earlier, I think it's like 2025. That's definitely worth it. But speaking of Nintendo news, we have quite a bit of stuff to go into. Nintendo just had an Indie World Showcase. They showed off quite a few games. Is there anything that sticks out to you that you want to go over? Because they went over a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, for the first thing they showed was a new game called, well, upcoming game called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk,
Yes.
which
Yes,
just
yes, yes, yes,
which
yes.
is a great title. This is
Yeah.
actually, so this game is by Team Reptile, who
Yep.
did the oh fuck, they did Lethal League and Lethal
Yeah.
League Blaze, which is like a hip hop like Smash Brothers styled. It's hard to explain what that game is. Like tennis game almost, but it's like death tennis where you're volleying like a ball around and you're trying to. It gets faster and faster as each player hits it, and then what you try to hit the other player with the ball to like knock him out.
Yeah.
Um,
It's really good.
and that game is 2D. And this game is 3D, but it retains that same like style of like hip
The
hop
cell
and
shading and
cell
yeah.
shading, graffiti. It's jet
It's got a
set
very like
basically.
urban, yeah, it's Jet Set Radio. It's got this Japanese like urban hip hop influence, and it's
Yeah,
dope. I love it. I'm someone who liked Jet Set Radio when I was younger. Excuse me. The first Jet Set aged like shit. So that's I would almost argue that's not worth playing. But Jet Set Radio Future still plays great. Except for a couple like early 2000s like camera bullshit. Um this looks like that, but with modern sensibilities attached to it, and I'm into it.
yeah,
They have nothing to do with Jet Set Radio, obviously. Like it's not the same team, not the same people working on it. But they did bring the composer from Jet Set Radio to play this. I didn't know that until recently.
yeah,
So a lot of the music and stuff is going to sound very Jet Set because of it. This game is very much inspired by Jet Set Radio. It's a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio without having anything to do with the original creators, and I'm okay with it. I'm excited for this game. It's set to drop 2022 as a Switch console temporary exclusive, and I'm definitely gonna be picking this up day one, dude. I really, really like this, and I'm like excited looking at this.
yeah.
I really want to play it.
Oh, they specify also console exclusive. I'm almost certain it's gonna be on PC on day one.
Yeah.
Um, so that's where I'm gonna be playing it. um, but yeah, this game looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Soundtrack
I
is
love it.
a good soundtrack goes a long way for me, and this game just yeah.
Yeah, dude. It fucking slaps, man.
So yeah, they started off this indie showcase with a banger.
Yeah.
Um, and then like they showed off some other games. They showed off Toem. We played the demo of this back in our demo derby. If you go to gameoverse.com/YouTube, you can watch our demo derby where we played this game. Toem is like a I don't really want to talk about it. Well, it's a like adventure game. It's an adventure photography game that kind of takes like the perspective thing that like Fez had, and puts that into like a photography simulator. It's very interesting. Just solving puzzles at the same time. A charming little game. Then they showed off Loop Hero, which has been on
Yeah,
PC for a bit.
yeah, you played that one a lot. You like that one.
Yeah, it's like a roguelike tower defense RPG card game thing. Also like a city builder almost, but with cards. It's it's a very difficult game. Uh, I've only beaten like the first boss, and that took me like 12 hours. um, so, but it's a unique idea, very unique. So, very hard to explain what the game is too, but um, it's worth checking out. It's pretty cheap too. Then they showed Far Changing Tides. I think this is the sequel to Far Lone Sails, which I've never played.
I never
Uh,
played it either.
for what I understand, it's a pretty successful game. I don't know anything about this game, other than it looks interesting. But
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like a lot of the games in this showcase, like look really cool. Even if it's stuff that we've already seen before, it is cool to see it coming to the Switch.
yeah, and like I'm more interested in indie stuff than like
Yeah,
the AAA stuff. Like at this point, I don't know. This year has been extremely disappointing from like the major publishers. Just like nothing I've cared about at all, uh, except like the indie stuff. So they showed off Necro Barista Final Pour,
which
which
that one looks
looks
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, it looks almost like a Danganronpa, like a visual novel, but there's like a lot more to it, like a lot more adventure to it, and a lot more uh, things to do than just stare at people talking to each other and dialogue.
it's
Um,
funny you bring that up because I did look it up because I was really interested in it, and it is just a straight visual novel.
it's a straight visual novel
Yeah,
because I saw them walking
it's
around though.
I looked it up. It's classified as a visual novel on Steam, and
Yeah.
one of the top reviews are like, "Hey, if you want like a very open game with a lot of choices, this doesn't have that. It's a very linear visual novel."
Okay, but they play with
Because it's
they play with a lot of camera work
yeah,
and animations and stuff like that to make it more interesting than just like
yeah,
the portraits of characters just talking at each other. Oh, and it
oh
also
yeah,
has
oh
like
yeah,
this studio mode where you can kind of build your own scenes and build your own thing using the game's assets. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. I really like it. It's got a really interesting story too. It's about it's like a weird like limbo cafe where the dead get one final night to live, and it's got a lot to say about like dying, what it means to live your life out. You see people talking to each other about their lives and what led to their demise. It's pretty neat. I like the concept, and I really
Um,
wanna check it out.
shouts
That
out
one should be out
to
now, I think.
Shouts out to Lunar IPv4 following the channel right now. Burning Elmo in the chat is
Yo, what up?
asking. Okay, Burning Elmo's asking about Pokemon. We'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get to that
We will get there.
because, okay, you're on YouTube. You might not know this, but I've made a video talking about Arceus. Is that how you say that? Arceus.
Arceus.
Arceus. Trust me, we're gonna get to that, okay? Because I got a lot
We
to
will
say
get to
about
that.
that.
That is something
Um,
I'm really excited to hear your opinion on. We'll
but
cross that bridge when we come to it.
uh, yeah. So we'll get to that. But
Oh, yeah.
they showed off Garden Story, which is like a It's like a Harvest Moon, one of those type of games. Never
Yeah,
been
I
into
liked
these
it.
games. It's very cute. It's very cute, but I don't know. These games are just not. I just don't have the. I like when they have combat like this because then it
Yeah.
reminds me of like a Zelda. But then all the other like management stuff you do around it, I just never been into.
That's right. I thought it was a cool concept. I thought it was cute. The next game though, after it, Boyfriend Dungeon. This is a trip.
Yeah,
Um, it's a dungeon crawling RPG dating sim where you date your weapon. So your weapon's like a person, like a physical form, and they can turn to a weapon, and you can fight with them. Kind of like Soul Eater. If anyone's ever watched Soul Eater, kind of reminds me of that. And the dungeon crawling is like one part of it. You can spend your money on like dates and gifts for your weapon boyfriend. It's interesting. It's really funny. I like the concept of it. Honestly, I might check it out. That seems really fun. I like dungeon crawlers. I like dating sims, so might be fun. I have my wife sit down and watch it with me. She might get a kick out of it. Um, After that, we got to look at Axiom Verge 2, which looks incredible. Like
yeah.
Christ, I need to
I think
play Axiom Verge already.
this is where they actually announced that the game was available. Like they showed this and they said
Yeah,
available now, and then that surprised everyone.
yeah.
So I need to check this out. I also need to finish that first game because I'd never finished it.
I need to
Um,
play the first game. I might buy it today, actually,
yeah,
after the show and just get into it.
this game is just so impressive. Well, this game and like the
Yeah,
first game. Always like the soundtrack always catches me. If you got a good soundtrack, I'm just a sucker for that. So, but yeah, these games just look really good.
yeah, it does. It
Um,
looks incredible. I love me a good Metroidvania, so like that's like the game was made for me. Then after
uh,
that, we got to look at Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon.
Shovel Knight, Shovel Knight puzzle game,
Yeah,
which is I can't even begin to explain what the game is because I gotta give it to Nintendo for like well I got Nintendo didn't like make this game but like if you can like make a new puzzle game that hasn't been done before I'm impressed.
yeah,
Uh,
the same way.
like I have no idea what the mechanics are here so
Yeah,
but it looks cool, it looks fun, it looks like there's like a real time strategy element to like as you move everything else moves kind of like Crypto the Necro Dancer. So I'm not sure if there's a rhythm element to this, but it kind of looks like that kind of gameplay, but just much smaller and just a single area.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm getting that vibe from it too. I'm not entirely sure what the mechanics are, but I like what I'm looking at. I
yeah,
love Shovel Knight too, so it's on my list. I want to check it out. I'm so happy that Shovel Knight's like a hot property that I can get spin-offs like this.
He-Man in
And
the chat
then,
as well. What's up,
yo, what up? What up, He-Man, friend of the
guys? We do this
show?
live.
How's
We
it
do this
going?
live on Twitch and YouTube. Gameverse.com/Twitch. Gameverse.com/YouTube live. Jump in there, jump in the chat. Um, So what is Islanders? They showed off a game
Yes.
called Islanders. Now this game is like a super casual city builder.
Yeah.
Um which like I'm not against. I've had my time with city builders in the past. Like I used to be huge into Sim City, like on the SNES, and then like on PC. And then I kind of like fell off a lot because like I don't know, it's kind of like too much to manage. It gets like a little much when it's like, hey, you got to do your taxes and how much do you want to build this rail system for? Like it's just too much. This is just super casual. It's just like, hey, just build and then tear it down and then you get this new island and you can build it again, tear it down. It's like you go at your own pace and just kind of just build whatever you want and just have fun
Yeah.
with it.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'm not a big fan of like city builders, but I can see the appeal of it. And this looks like a really fun, like you said, really fun, chill, no pressure city builder. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it seems like that this game would mix very well with some lo-fi beats.
Lo-fi beats to chill out and study to.
Yeah,
Is that what I mean?
yeah, and this game is out now, so
Yeah.
check it out.
And now
Metal
the
Slug
next one, another
Tactics.
really like hot look. Oh yeah, Metal Slug Tactics. This is one. This looks dope. All I
Yeah.
can say, it looks dope.
Now I will say you put the word tactics in the thing, I'm out. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that this doesn't look awesome and amazing. It's an amazing idea, and I can't believe they hadn't done this yet.
Yeah,
Um,
it seems so obvious now that it's here that I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. And the sprites transfer so well to a tactic style, like an isometric tactic style game.
yeah,
It's cool. It's really cool. I prefer like a regular Metal Slug game, but this is a cool concept that I'll probably be checking out when that drops 2022. I really like it.
yeah.
On the animated like intro is like gorgeous too.
Tetris
God
Effect.
damn it, I love Metal Slug.
Tetris
Yeah,
Effect
Tetris Effect.
Connected. Coming to Switch. This game's been around on like PC and Xbox for a bit. It is a cross-platform multiplayer edition of Tetris Effect. Which is great because now everyone can just play together. One of the things that was missing from the original Tetris Effect was like multiplayer, and then this is doing some crazy shit where everyone's boards combine and you can like do crazy combos with each other. Um,
Yeah.
I need to like play some more of this. I got it on PS4 and like played through it once, and then like once you play through like the little campaign that's there, it's kind of like you're done with it unless you're like going for like scores with your friends. So this would have some more replayability, but yeah, if you've not played this game, it's a bit of a trip, man. It's I don't know, it puts you in a zone like
Yeah,
Zen.
this looks crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like shit. I don't even know like what I'm looking at here, but it looks like fun and I want to get into it.
It's Tetris, man. Arguably the greatest game ever made because it has like such a lasting legacy, and they're still iterating on it. Like,
Lasting legacy. Everybody knows about it.
yeah,
You can put Tetris in front of everybody, and if they don't know how to play it, it's really easy to explain.
yeah.
Like, it's great. It's a perfect game. I would argue it's a perfect game.
I was gonna say you could say that everyone knows it, but I've got some friends that I work with who in their 20s, early 20s, and I made a Tetris joke, and she didn't had no fucking idea what the fuck I was talking about. And I'm like, this is how do you not know Tetris? I was so fucking upset. um, but yeah, that's
Okay,
coming
that's
to
dropping
Switch.
October 8th,
Yeah.
2021.
It
We
showed
also got to look at Hunt. Oh, yeah.
uh, a little Astroneer they showed. It's like
Stringer
a
looks cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
this game's been on PC for a while. It's just like a little space building. It's like No Man's Sky but smaller and
a
cuter.
lot smaller. Yeah, it
Yeah,
kind of reminds me of like Grow Home, but, you know, a little bit more focused.
yeah.
No, I like it.
100,
And then we got a
days
wine. Yeah,
winemaking
sorry.
simulator.
Oh, fuck, we keep cutting over each other. God damn it.
Yeah.
uh, I'll let you go. I'll respond.
I don't have anything to say about this, other than it seems
Yeah.
to be a winemaking simulator, as the name suggests. So
So there you
that's
go. If you want
yeah.
to look into how wine is made and run your own vineyard, that's the game for you.
I guess we need one of these. Like, you know, we're just gonna have a simulator for everything in the future. Just anything you can dream of, you can do it in a video game. Mike Rowe's Dirty Job Simulator.
I would play that.
I
I'd play
actually
the hell
would
out of
play.
that.
I fucking love that show. Uh, Slime Rancher Plortable Edition.
Okay, so that wasn't an error. That is
No, it
portable
wasn't.
edition.
I did double check. I did double check and triple check that. Just make sure they didn't make a mistake and I didn't make a mistake. No, it's actually portable edition. Uh, Slime Rancher. I don't know if this is the sequel. Doesn't I don't think this is the sequel. I think this is just the original Slime Rancher, just in portable form. So that's nice. People love that game. So um, that's out now. Lumberjack.
I love that pun so much.
You're a bear with an axe. This almost looks like Donut Country, but I don't think it's those guys. Um,
Yeah, it's got Donut Country vibes. And
yeah,
I think bears are cool. So you can play as a lumberjack bear. Yeah, yeah, I'm down.
yeah. Curious Expedition 2 they showed off. That's available now. I have no idea what this game is. Looks like
Yeah,
some
me
sort
neither.
of adventure RPG, I guess.
Reminds me of
Uh,
Oregon Trail, but like on crack.
they showed off Gang Beasts, which I is crazy to think that it wasn't already on Switch. But there you go. And then they wrapped it up with a game that looks amazing called Eastward.
Oh yeah.
Not only does it look amazing, but it sounds amazing. The soundtrack was like, again, I'm a sucker for a good soundtrack, dude. Like, it kicked me in the face, and I was like, yeah, gotta check this out. So good.
Yeah. I
Uh,
love the art style. I'm a sucker. Like you're a sucker for a good soundtrack. I'm a sucker for really good like sprite art. So that's taking those boxes for me. And it's an action RPG. It looks like isometric action RPG. So I'm super into it. I'm
yeah,
really, really into it.
I'm not totally sure what it is exactly, but yeah, it does look like you're like running around and like shooting shit. Um, so I don't know. It just looks and sounds incredible. So and it came out of nowhere. And that's coming out next month, September 16th. So it's coming.
Yeah. It's coming up. It's coming up fast.
Yeah. So
And
that
that's it for the Nintendo. That's it for the indie showcase. I'm super into Cyberpunk. I can't wait till that drops, dude. That's on my wish list already. Eastward looks great. Those are the main two that I'm looking at.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Again, the indies, man. Indies are just
yep,
killing it right now. I mean, I
dude, for
really
sure.
don't care about, for instance, Call of Duty Vanguard was just announced. um, and I gotta say, man, I couldn't give any fucks about this.
Dude,
Um,
same. Dude, same.
um,
And like, it's standard Call of Duty stuff. This one's gonna take place in a World War II setting. It has 4 playable characters that form like the main task force in the story. It's gonna have 20 multiplayer maps at launch. Zombies are gonna be developed by Treyarch, and it's set to
uh,
launch on all major systems: PS5, 4, Xbox One, Series X, and PC.
yeah. Now, I used to be the dumbass that would just buy the Call of Duty games just to play the campaign and nothing else. Maybe I would dip into zombies, but like I would never touch the multiplayer. Um Now I've not bought the like last four. I think the last one I bought was Infinite Warfare. And like that one was actually really fucking good. But I feel like I'm the only one who has that opinion of it. Um
The last Call of Duty I bought was Ghost.
wow.
And before that with Black Ops.
Um
And the only reason I bought Ghost because this girl I was working with said she just picked it up and she wanted me to pick it up so we can play together.
wow.
And I was like, all right. Things I did when I was single, man.
Yeah.
Fucking play Call of Duty for this woman.
There's nothing
But
wrong with
no,
Call of Duty, but like I just feel like World War
it's
Two
got
again. This is where we're
yeah,
going. Like I
it's
just
got a
don't know.
very specific audience and I'm not in it.
Yeah, but no, because like Battlefield, oh, I'm all for Battlefield, dude. Like they showed me that shit, and I was
Yeah,
like, oh, I can put a proximity mine on the front of my Jeep and then launch it off a ramp and then try to ram into a plane. Like that's the kind of shit that I'm into. Like dumb shit like that. Call of Duty, I feel like just is taking itself way too seriously, and I'm just not into it anymore. Um, and that's basically it. But the release date, it's coming out on November 5th. Did you say this
yeah,
already? Um, on pretty much everything. So whatever you want to play it on, you can play it on. Um, I think that the zombies thing is interesting because it's the first time that they're going to a different studio to make the zombies mode or any mode for that matter. Well, no, because they've had someone else doing like the multiplayer mode. So now I guess like
yeah,
everyone's just working on this Call of Duty now. Like it
yeah.
used to be like, hey, this is the Sledgehammer year, this is the Treyarch year, this is the I guess Infinity Ward might not be on this, I guess, but um yeah, I guess we'll see because Treyarch are the zombies guys, so theoretically they're gonna do the zombies mode that everyone wants. Um, but yeah, we'll see about this, man, because
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not. It's definitely not my cup of tea. It's not something I'm interested in. But these games make money because people buy them. So there's an audience.
yeah.
Um, we also got to look at some new coming soon to Game Pass games. There's quite a few here. We got Humankind available now on PC. I don't know most of these games. What about you? Did you have anything you want to say about them? You just want to get them knocked out?
Humankind just came out. It's like a it's one of those like it's like a strategy game. Well, in their own words, it's a strategy game where you'll be rewriting the entire narrative of human history. Combine up to 60 different cultures to create your own civilization and lead your people from the ancients to the modern age.
Okay,
So
interesting. So these strategy heads out there, if you like Civilization,
it's a 4X game, which I'm out. 4X, I'm out.
yeah, 4X.
4X, it's like X. It's four words that start with X, not the letter X, but EX. And I forget. It's like yeah, but it's like there's strategy games, RTS games. I'm not. That's not for me.
Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. Okay,
Yeah,
so
there you
like
go.
Civilization. Can only think of Civilization. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, Planet Simulator or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's not my cup of tea, but I can see the appeal. But that's out now for those of you who have Game Pass. We got Need for Speed Heat also available now. That's available now for cloud. Battlefront 2 is available on cloud. Jedi Fallen Order is available on cloud.
Nice.
And we have Recompile available on cloud, console, and PC. But the console's only Series X and a Series S. So if you got an Xbox One, it's not playable on a Game Pass. I don't know what this is. I've
The
never heard of this game before.
Metroidvania inspired hacking
Oh,
adventure that lets
oh,
you
okay. I'm downloading it now then.
lets you take control of a semi-sapient program struggling against deletion. In the sprawling 3D world of the mainframe, Recompile features intense combat, tight 3D platforming, superpowered abilities, and environmental logic-based hacking mechanic. Almost sounds like Tron a little bit.
A little bit, and I'm downloading it now. This sounds cool.
You heard
Um,
Metroidvania, I was like, "Yep, I'm in."
yeah, I'm in. Like, I got Game Pass. I don't
Yeah,
gotta fucking pay for it. Yeah, I fucking love Game Pass so much, dude. Um, well, no, we got that. We also have Train Sim World 2 available now for cloud console and PC. Um, excuse me, 12 minutes available now, cloud console and PC. That one looks really cool.
I'm gonna
We
check that
talked
out.
about that a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out too. It's got Willem Dafoe in it. I think Daisy Ridley and James McAvoy. Or am I making that up? I can't remember.
No, yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, there's got some names in it, dude, and that looks cool. Psychonauts 2 is dropping August 25th.
Yes.
So Those of you waiting for it, I still got to play Psychonauts 1. I own it. I just got to finish it. I might try to do that before Psychonauts 2 comes out. I'll doubt I'll have time though, because I'm leaving. All those of you who don't know, I'm leaving in about a week. I got a wedding I got to attend to, so I'll be out of commission in about a week. For about a week. So that'll be fun. Then we got Mist coming out August 26th for cloud console and PC. Is it like the original Mist, or is this like an HD remaster, or
I don't know. They don't
yeah, I don't
say,
know.
but I would imagine it's gonna be on console and shit. It's gonna have like some form. It's gonna have controller support, obviously, if it's on console. So
Yeah,
they would have had to done something to it for like controller support
yeah,
because the
I would
original
assume
Mist.
so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool, man. If you got Game Pass, again, we're not sponsored by Microsoft. Wish we were, but we're not. We just Game Pass is a great fucking deal. Like if you got a PC, you should have Game Pass. If you have an Xbox, you should have Game Pass.
Yeah.
No contest. That's it. And some quickies. We got a GTA Remastered Trilogy. Seems to be real. If those of you don't know, there were some rumors that the GTA Remastered Trilogy will be releasing for GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. It seems to be real, according to the Kotaku report. But the speculation seems to be warranted, and it is set to come out later this fall for multiple consoles, including the Nintendo Switch, which would be cool to see. I never got to play GTA back when it had come out, GTA 3 and up. I never got to play it.
Yeah.
Um, Fun
These.
story. My dad played video games, so he kept me away from Grand Theft Auto. And I didn't play a GTA game until 5 because even though 4 came out and I could have bought it with my own money, other games are coming out that I was interested in, so I skipped it. So my first GTA was 5. And I've tried going back to the original trilogy, 3 up to San Andreas, and they play like shit. They don't play
Yep.
great at all.
Yep. And that's one of the things. So I think this article says that it questions whether they're going to change the gameplay, and they're kind of leaning towards no, they're not, which is a bummer. Uh, because I guess if you want to remain like sacred to like what those games were, you can't really change much. But at the same time, fuck, dude, there's some missions in those games that just fucking suck, man.
Yeah.
Oh, they fucking suck. Oh my god, man, just
Some of the
thinking about
HD
them.
remasters got some tweaks to the missions. I know. I think it's San Andreas that has that really shitty one with the RC helicopter.
No, they all have that.
Well,
They
there's a
all
really
have
shitty
that.
one.
They
Well, there's
all
a really
have the
shitty one.
worst ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
There's just a
The
bunch of like
point is,
escort missions and like shit like that where it's like, don't let them shoot this car, and then like there's the train one, there's the one on the train, and there's
oh yeah.
like there's so many bad ones, man. But like uh yeah. But
Oh, that's funny. I
it's
hope
good.
they like tweak it. I hope they recognize that people don't like these missions, and I hope that they recognize that and fix it. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it, man. Honestly, I'm surprised we're getting something. I thought they'd be riding that GTA Online money forever, but
This, you probably think they just weighed the cost of this and was like, we already ported them to Android and shit, so it's not. I don't think it'd be too difficult to just take that and put it on like Switch and shit. Like it's probably really easy for them because those games already have like full controller support, and I don't know what engine they're running on. Like maybe they've done something with like that, like Unity or
yeah,
something, but it
yeah,
probably cost them nothing to do this. So,
yeah,
but it'll make them
probably.
so much money because people are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
And then another quickie, we got a Skyrim Anniversary Edition. It's announced. Um Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So there's a lot of confusion as to what this is, and I've read through this. I don't know, about 20 times now, so I think I have the gist of what this is exactly. if you remember, the original Skyrim came out. They had three pieces of DLC, and then once those DLCs ran their course, they re-released the original Skyrim as Legendary Edition, which was
Yeah.
just Skyrim with all the DLC included. Um, and then years later, they released Special Edition, which was a remastered Skyrim with all the DLC included. And I think this Anniversary Edition is the Legendary Edition of Special Edition, where it's not a new game. It's not like you're
Yeah.
not buying a new version of Skyrim. It's just the same Skyrim Special Edition, but it includes additional content. And what they're saying it has here is, well, for free. If you already own Special Edition, everyone will get for free the fishing, survival mode, and Saints and Seducers. So everyone's gonna get those three pieces for free and no
Mm.
additional cost. But if you the anniversary edition, the full anniversary edition is going to include 74 creations, 48 current ones, 26 new ones, and then like 500 plus individual creation club pieces, quests, items, armor, houses, etc. So basically, it's special edition plus all this additional content, just all included in one. Um,
Jesus Christ. I
so
mean,
the, the
if you
the
like Skyrim, there's some stuff, but
yeah, well, the thing
yeah.
is, if you're not familiar with how Skyrim modding works, every time Bethesda puts out an update for this game, it breaks fucking mods, like completely. Not completely, but like most mods are fucking completely broken when they put out an update. Because everything has to be refreshed and updated to like it works on the game's like memory addresses. So when they put out an update,
Oh,
the memory addresses change in the executable. So they have to
yeah.
update everything to point to the new addresses. So everyone was like up in arms because when Special Edition came out, it was a completely new fucking game. So everything had to fucking change. So it's not going to be that drastic with this. It's not a new game. It's Special Edition, but you're probably gonna have to update again when they put this shit out because it's gonna have some new content in it, and it shouldn't be too bad. It should just be like a quick like once they update, everything should just work. Um, so I support this because I don't know, for one thing, it gives the console owners just a lot more content for the game because especially on PlayStation, you're getting fucked. You bought the worst version of the game. Sorry. Uh, so at least you get some like additional content here. A lot of it too. Um, so like, and then it's also bringing it to PS5 and Xbox Series X and shit with whatever enhancements that includes. So it's good for the console users. It's basically a move for consoles more than for PC.
Yeah. Which
Um,
is it's funny to me to see that because like Skyrim's only 10 years old, which 10 years is a long time, but
yeah,
to think how many times that game's been re-released, how much the game's been talked about, redone, referenced. When I say the game's 10 years old, you think like, holy shit, only 10 years old.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't have any beef against this. If people are gonna buy it, or
I
if this is well, if it is a free upgrade, if you already have like a
well, it's
special
not.
edition. So,
It's not free. You do get if you already have. So it's you only get the only free thing in this is just three pieces: the fishing, survival mode, and Saints and Seducers, which is just a couple new quests.
right.
That's the only free
But you
part.
still get the next gen console upgrade for free though. So if you have like a PS4 special
Yeah,
edition, you can still upgrade to PS5 for free.
yeah. And you get a discount if you already own the thing. You get a discount on the actual anniversary edition. So,
That's cool.
but I like Skyrim. Skyrim's one of my favorite games of all time. Not so much like the base game, and not so much because it's like a good game, but because it's a game that no one else has ever done before, and no one's ever tried to do since. Like it's the only game that does what it does to the scale at which it does it. Not including like
Yeah,
Fallout, which is I mean, it's the same guys. They like this is what they do. Like if you're looking for the same experience that Skyrim offers, you're not gonna get it from anything else. And for that, I can respect the game. I can respect Bethesda for that. Like just daring to do something, this Herculean task of, hey, what if every person you ran into you can talk to, and interact with? What if every door in every building you can go into, and everyone had their own schedule and work life balance and relationships and shit like that? And
yeah.
they do it, and it's like a buggy thing, but I can,
There's a
you know,
charm to it.
yeah,
There's a charm to it.
and it's just the openness of it all, where it's just you can go here and do that whenever the fuck you want. We're not gonna hold your hand, and it's just no other game does that. So I highly respect Bethesda and Skyrim for that. So a lot of people like to shit on this game and Bethesda, but and they've done some bonehead moves. Don't get it twisted, but there's no one else daring to even do what the fuck they do. So
Yeah, and this looks, and that's why I said, like, it's people are gonna be out there, people are gonna buy it. Skyrim is as popular as it is because of how important it was for what it was doing when it came out.
yeah,
And it'll be cool to see that, you can play it now on your current gen system. This game came out like 2 generations ago, PS3, 360. So to be able to play it now, go from PS3 to PS5. You know what I mean? It's funny.
yeah.
Can you imagine someone who bought Skyrim on their PS3 and then telling them like, "Hey, in like 10 years, you're still going to be playing Skyrim on your PS5."
Yeah,
Like
it's it's
they tell you you're fucking crazy. They wouldn't believe you, but here it is.
it's super impressive. I have to like give them credit for like building the game the way they do, just to accommodate people being able to mod it so heavily.
Yeah,
Again, no one else does that. Um, it's I respect them. That's all. I respect them. So
yeah, same.
they're not free from
And another,
criticism, but I
yeah,
respect
they're
it.
not free from criticism, but it's okay to part of criticism is acknowledging what they did right, not
Yeah,
talking what they did wrong. And another quickie, and this one breaks my heart a little bit. We got a concept art for a canceled Power Rangers open world game. This was dropped by Jason Bischoff on Twitter.
yeah,
It's a Power Rangers game in the same vein as like Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, the Batman games.
yeah. Technically, the way
And
he describes it here is, that Arkham Knights game is coming out. That's
yeah,
basically what this game was going to be.
it's a huge bummer because like I'm not a huge Power Rangers fan. I
Yeah,
liked it when I was a kid, but I recently got back into it with the Battle for the Grid fighting game. When that game came out, it kind of reignited my interest in Power Rangers. So I spent a lot of time, like whenever like a new character released, or something like that, I would look up like, oh, where's this character from? What do they do? What's their deal? And Power Rangers is pretty fucking cool. Some of the shit,
yeah,
like looking at some of the character designs and stuff, what some of the Rangers look like, their powers, like it's really cool. It's fucking cool. And I would have loved to see an Arkham style, Batman Arkham style game where you play as multiple Power Rangers and they all work together. Like this sounds so neat, and I'm really upset we're not getting it. I'm really, really upset this isn't happening.
and I can't believe, because there's no like Power Rangers is such a huge franchise, and if with any huge franchise, there's people looking to make money off it in every way possible. I can't believe they haven't done this yet. Like there's a huge
Well, if you
money
think of
making
like the
opportunity
cost
here.
benefit to like making it, it sounds like they wanted to make a good game. They didn't want to just cash grab something.
Yeah,
So a lot of times something like that, it goes to the lowest bidder, unfortunately. Who can make this game for the least amount of money.
but there's no games though. That's the thing. Is like there's no games. I mean, there's a couple
They're all mobile
games.
games. They're all mobile
Yeah,
games, dude. That's the
yeah,
thing that's fucked up. They're all mobile games. And it's because like they're easy to make. They don't cost a lot of money to put together. So it's a huge bummer. Like if you look at like Like people talk about like, oh, I want this cool like game based on this property. But if you look at what licensed game used to be like, before I want to argue before Batman, they
Yeah.
were really shitty. If you got a licensed game, chances are that it was a shit game. Very rarely was work put into these games. And Batman Arkham Asylum was like, hey, we want to make a good Batman game. We want to make a Batman video game that's a good video game. And I would argue that because of that, we started seeing more effort put into these licensed games. It's because of them that we got, Shadow of Mordor is a really good game. Spider-Man, I would argue that kind of opened up the floodgates to like, hey, we can make licensed games and make them good and have them work as games, not just like advertisements for our IP.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Power Rangers, they're still not in that mindset. They still want to like. I feel like this game would have been expensive, and it could just be that they didn't want to fund it because they didn't want to see this. They didn't see that their return on investment. Their return on investment. Again, like I'm speculating, but that's what I would bet money that that's what happened. That there's incentive to make this great game, and I think Saban owns Power Rangers now. Didn't want to put the money in for it or foot the bill for it, and it's a
This
huge bummer.
image, this image is badass, dude.
It is badass, dude. Dude, so like there's this Power Rangers like Battle for the Grid, like the fighting game. It's based on a comic, and the comic is filled with art just like that. Just
Okay.
throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, and like you said, mobile is where most of these games are now, and I don't know. It's just a bummer, dude. It's a bummer. Like I'm
A
also not
huge
the
bummer.
biggest Power Rangers guy, but I'm not gonna sit here
But
and
you
lie to
see these
you.
designs and you're like,
Yeah,
this looks cool as fuck. Like,
yeah, man. But yeah, I bet there's a ton of stories like this where it's just like, hey, we were working on something that was gonna be awesome. Just believe me. Here's some pictures of it. Actually, there's another thing in the later on that we're gonna talk about that was not awesome. But yeah, Power Rangers.
yeah, if you want like a cool like Power Ranger story and you like that art, check out Shattered Grid. That's the name of the comic. I'm putting up
Shattered Grid.
a panel from it. Yeah, I'm putting up a panel from it. Just one panel, and you'll be like, "This looks cool as fuck." I haven't read the comic yet, but I've seen the art, and a lot of the art's like in the Battle for the Grid game, and it looks fucking badass. But yeah, that's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer to see that. But hopefully, like this might drum up some attention, man. I mean, look what happened with Deadpool. Like they filmed that teaser, not that teaser, that test footage, and studio passed on it. It leaked, quote unquote. Internet fell in love with it, so the studio picked it up and they saw the interest. So hopefully something like that happens with this. I doubt
Yeah.
it, but the Battle for the Grid game is very successful. They just dropped their newest DLC pack and did an updated physical release with all the DLC on it. So hopefully the interest for that combined with the interest of the concept art might inspire someone to do something, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, and now the story we've all been waiting for. We got a look at Pokemon Legends Arceus,
Oh my
or as
god,
people have been
dude.
dubbing it, Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god, dude. This is just
I want to hear what you want to say because I have an opinion that a lot of people might not agree with.
so. Look, basically, I've already said what I need to say about this game when
Yeah.
they first showed it, and my opinion hasn't changed. This game looks like fucking garbage, man.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
does, dude.
come
My God,
on.
it does not. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God,
Um,
dude. I am like upset with how this looks. Like
and
far
I
away, it doesn't look too bad. When you zoom in and you look at all the details, it's like, my God, man, really?
and like so back then I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt because I was like, it's early. This game's not coming out
Yeah.
till next year, so I'm sure they're gonna work on it and it's gonna look a lot better. Nope. Wrong.
I want to point out 40, it's like about 40 seconds in when it's
40
zooming into
seconds.
yeah, it's zooming into that Stantler, the elk looking Pokemon. Look at the fucking grass, dude. You see that shit? My God, man. It's like, I get it. The Switch isn't like this graphical powerhouse, but dude, Breath of the Wild came out, launched on the Switch, and
Breath of
it
the
looks
Wild,
leagues better than this game.
and like, I mean, there's like numerous games you could name that look worlds better than this. I mean, Monster Hunter just came out, and that game
Yeah,
looks incredible.
yeah,
Xenoblade looks incredible. Like,
yep.
so I what and the Pokemon Company has like trillions of dollars that they could throw at this if they wanted to and say, here we go, here's the greatest Pokemon game ever made imaginable. And no, they just give you this shit and people are eating it up regardless. Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it doesn't look like a fun game. It doesn't, like, I love the concept, like the open world Pokemon game. It's the first step in what people have been wanting. Um, but God, man, like you couldn't have done a little bit more with what you got here, man. Like, come on, this is like the lowest bit of effort you could have done. It's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing. Like Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap came out, and it's the same fucking game you got on N64, except now the new Pokemon are in it, and of course it looks a little better because it's on Switch now. But the same fucking on rails fucking point and click shooter that you could have done on N64 that you
They
did
released
do
for
on
sixty
N64
dollars. It
and
was
sixty dollars.
$60.
I mean, this is
Yeah,
just ridiculous, man. The fact that people are calling this Breath of the Wild is just offensive. I think it's offensive. I mean, look how lifeless this world is. Like everything in it, there's like nothing in this world, dude. It's like my first open world game. Like, come on.
not just that, but like a lot of people were talking about like the gameplay behind it. Like, oh, the Pokemon can attack you now. But when you saw the gameplay, it looked cool. They're dodging around trying to avoid that Pokemon's hits. But then as soon as she threw the Pokemon out, it turned into a regular like turn-based Pokemon game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how's that different? Like now I have a little mini game where I gotta like avoid getting like my ass beat and then do that for like a minute, and then now it's a regular Pokemon game again. Like, what's the difference here? I don't know. I feel like there's more to it. They're not doing enough to justify it. I can justify how shitty the game looks if they were doing something completely different with the gameplay.
Yeah.
I can justify if that was happening, but it looks like more or less the same type of game that we got already.
And that's what I say. That's what I mean by you can't say Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild had so fucking much. IGN is still releasing videos on. I think when I first did this video, they had a video called "Everything You Missed in Breath of the Wild." After that, they released like 4 more stuff of like, here's more shit that you had no idea Breath of the Wild was doing, and it's like, holy shit, like Breath of the
It's
Wild was
bad. You
doing
go on the
all of
Breath of the
that.
Wild subreddit. If you go on the Breath of the Wild subreddit, people are still like doing crazy shit, just showing off stuff you can do in that game I didn't know you can do, and just trying to show off like crazy ways they can fuck with the game.
Yeah,
And
like
this
Breath
game
of the
came out
Wild was
forever.
so it was
Yeah.
that game is so mechanically and systemically dense. Everything works together in ways that like you couldn't imagine. And if you did imagine it, it probably work. Like, oh, I wonder if I throw these floating things on this piece of rock, if I could just float over the water and then use the feather to kind of guide myself. You can do it. You can do it. This game just doesn't, like, it's an open world with no reason to be open world. I
Yeah.
mean, on top of the fact that the whole game looks like it's made on like stock Unity assets, like it's fucking crazy to me. It's crazy to me that people are just accepting this.
Dude,
Um,
exactly. And like when it first released, when they first announced that first teaser trailer, I was in the camp, like I was excited for it. Even though I didn't see a lot, I'm like, dude, I really want to see what they're doing with this. If there's something different. And then we finally get this gameplay trailer. I was hyped as shit. And I watched it and I was like, what is this? Honestly, this is what Pokemon Sword and Shield should have been when
yeah,
that came out. Because it looks like it's doing more or less the same thing. Like it's got. I like the open aspect of it. It's got the wild area stuff that was specific to Sword and Shield, but now it's expanded on. You can move around a bit more. But again, once you start the combat, it turns into a regular Pokemon game, which is fine. I like that. But how are you going to talk this up as an action RPG? People are calling this an action RPG. That's not a fucking action RPG. That's
Yeah.
not what this is. This is a turn-based RPG at its core. It's a turn-based RPG. And I'm like really upset that like people are falling for it. I don't know. If it comes out and it's awesome, if this is like just a bad gameplay video and it comes out it's awesome, I'll be the first one to like admit I was wrong. But
Sure.
there's nothing in here that really impressed me.
Yeah.
It looks like
So
what we've been playing with Pokemon, but with a controllable camera now. That's it. That's all it is. It's Pokemon with a controllable camera. And I'm
yeah.
super bummed out.
So yeah, you asked me what I think about this. I think it's fucking garbage. Like it. I like the concept, but they fucked up by like
Yeah,
again like it looks like
I
early
agree.
open world games where like oh it's open world but there's nothing, this world is completely empty and lifeless and there's nothing to do in it, so why make it open world.
Exactly.
um
Exactly. And again, like if Sword and Shield had released with this type of gameplay, this is something that should have come out when Sword and Shield was announced. Here's Pokemon. It's big, open. It's open. It's got a controllable camera now.
no, but
That's what I was expecting.
the problem with the whole scale and scope of this game is that I wouldn't accept this even if it was like, because the problem is like this is a half step Pokemon game. This is like the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, like half step.
Yeah.
So they're not even like going for that type of scale with this, which is fine. But then they shouldn't go for that type of price either. Like this should be
I
like
agree.
$30 at the most. Uh, it's outrageous to me that anyone
Yeah.
could look at this and go Breath of the Wild. You're completely missing. You completely have no understanding of what Breath of the Wild was doing if you're saying that. Um,
Yeah.
so
And it's really
like
frustrating to
because
see.
Breath of the Wild, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Breath of the Wild's like open world wasn't that enticing either. Like it was like kind of empty and lifeless as well. But there was a lot of stuff to find and explore, and at least like when
Yeah.
like it had systems in it that made exploring that world more interesting. Like when it rained and when it was a thunderstorm and like
Yeah.
it had
And
things
not
that
just that, but there was stuff in there that you can discover that you can climb up a mountain and be like, I bet there's nothing up here and I've wasted my time. The
yeah
developers wouldn't put something on the top of this mountain. You get on the top there, oh, here's a Korok seed.
yeah
Like the game
um
rewards you for like it's one when you remember when you were a kid and you would like play a game and you recognize how games worked. You knew people made these. So you'd be like, oh, I'm not there's no way they would do this. There's no way they would make the game and do this. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you play a game, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna go that way. There's no way they'd put something there. And 9 times out of 10 you are right.
Oh,
Breath of the Wild,
it's like they make games. You go left to right, so
yeah.
you're in a section where it kind of puts you in the middle of the screen, and it's like I wonder what happens if I go left here. I bet there's gonna be nothing, but I'm just gonna go left and then confirm with myself that there's nothing there. But then you go left, and then there's shit over there, and you're like, holy shit. Like Pitfall does that. You can actually go left for the entirety of the game, and it's actually easier, and you kind of break the game like that. But um,
But yeah, but with Breath of the Wild, like, it bucks that. You play it and you're like, oh, I'm not. I bet there's nothing on top of this mountain. And you climb the
and
top of it, and it's like, oh no, there's a Korok seed there.
yeah, and that's like Nintendo game design right there. Like Mario Odyssey does the same thing. Like
Oh
there's
yeah,
shit everywhere, every fucking corner. There's at least like some coins over for going and checking it out. Uh,
yeah,
look, we can't say about like that's why I give this game the benefit of the doubt because they haven't really shown. We don't know about this game yet, so like I will give them the benefit of saying like maybe the world has some interesting stuff to find in it if you're like just walking around. I doubt it.
this game
Gonna
comes out in
doubt it.
5 months, dude. This game comes out in 5 months. I am, I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing. If it comes out and it's great, I'll eat my words. I'll be the first one to come up and say I was wrong. This game's awesome, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I
Yeah. So
don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think this game is what people think it is, and that's the bummer.
burning ammo in the chat if you're still here. He asked earlier, Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond, or Legends Arceus? Which one would you rather buy? If I'm being honest, I'm not gonna buy either of them. But I would at least like consider Brilliant Diamond uh, and Shining Pearl because at least I know those games are just like they're Pokemon games like to the fullest. You know, they're not trying to do anything. Like if I'm just out looking for like the Pokemon experience, I know this is gonna give that to me because I haven't played a Pokemon game
Yeah,
in a while. And
yeah. This is just a remake of like Diamond and Pearl, so I'm cool with it. I
what I
like Diamond and
remember
Pearl.
about Diamond and Pearl, I remember people being generally favorable about these.
Yeah,
These were probably the last. No, I think it was Black and White. I think Black and White 2 were like the last ones that people were extremely favorable about, and then it was like mostly downhill from there. I hold the opinion that Gold and Silver were the pinnacle, and then it was downhill from there for me. But people like Black and White. These ones, I don't know about, but I haven't played. Have I played these ones? I don't know if I've played these ones, but
these ones are good. I like them,
yeah,
and Diamond and Pearl are fun. I really like them, and I like the fact they're trying to recreate that old art style from Diamond and Pearl on the DS.
yeah,
But my problem is that the game is $60 and it looks like how it looks. Why? I don't understand. Like I can understand if they release it for like 40 bucks, because it doesn't look like there's too much work being put in here. But to drop this for $60, dude, come on. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
That being said, I'm probably gonna end up buying it because I'm a sucker for Pokemon, but I don't know. We'll see.
You're the
I don't know,
problem.
man. I
You're the
play Diamond
problem.
and Pearl. I don't know, man. I already played Diamond and Pearl, so I'm like, why would I play this? Like, it's cool to see some of those mechanics come back. The Explorer kit's back. You can build your underground base again. The Pokemon contests look like they have a little bit more engagement in them than they did in the original game. You can actually find Pokemon underground now, which is cool. Um, but I don't know. There's not enough here for me to justify $60.
I'm looking
Maybe
for.
on sale.
I can't wait for the day that people turn around on Pokemon because it happened with Bethesda. We were just talking about Bethesda, like Skyrim and shit. But there was a point where like Bethesda could do no wrong, right? Like every Bethesda game
Yeah.
came out, people were just fucking head over heels for it until Fallout 4, people were starting to get a little like, we really like what's this game's still buggy. It's like, come on, have they not learned anything? And uh then like Fallout 76 came out, and then people were just oh no, fuck Bethesda, dude. Fuck
Yeah.
Bethesda. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Unacceptable.
I'm dying for the moment it happens with Pokemon. Maybe it'll never happen, but
Here's the problem with Pokemon. A lot of the people who are playing the Diamond and Pearl remake now aren't the same people who played it when it came out. A lot of this is new kids who just see a new Pokemon game.
sure. But I know
Yeah,
people
that
where
that
I have friends that where Fallout 4 was their first Fallout game ever. Um, so like I still think it could happen. Like all they
yeah.
need to do is just like have like one major fuck up. They have to have one that's like makes people question at first, and then they have to have another one that's like,
I
oh
mean,
no,
Sword and
this is
Shield could have been that one. They cut out a chunk of the Pokedex and gave
yeah,
it like
yeah,
shit, but it still
yeah,
sold well. I fucking bought Sword and Shield eventually and the DLC for it. Granted, I did not pay $60 plus DLC price. All in all, I think I paid like $40 for the base game and the DLC all together once everything was said and done. And I was like, I'm satisfied for that price that I paid. But I would not, I would feel ripped off if I paid day one price for that and for the DLC. But this looks, I don't know, this looks like a rip off. I'm not going to pick this up. Maybe I'll get it secondhand for a cheaper price. Maybe, but I'm not buying that day one. No, sir. This is coming from a Pokemon fan. But let's talk about some good games. You got Metroid Dread.
Yeah,
We got a trailer for that, which looks amazing. And
it's
I know I was just talking about how like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl shouldn't be $60. And then Metroid Dread comes out. Here's a 2D Metroid game, $60, and I'm okay with paying $60 for it.
but this game is just it seems like Metroid as fuck. Even
It
again,
does.
I'm gonna bring up the soundtrack again, but the soundtrack is like it's like they haven't missed a beat, dude. Like the
Yeah,
soundtrack
dude.
is like super fucking Metroid, man. That's what they should have called this game, is Super fucking Metroid, because like it's bringing so much nostalgia to me just listening to it.
Dude, same. And like, this is coming from someone. My first Metroid game was Fusion, and I worked my way back with Fusion. And seeing this, it has the same vibe Fusion does, where it's like this really like atmospheric, heavy, like scary game,
Yeah,
like Fusion was. And again, like I'm feeling that too. But also looking at this in the perspective of like Super Metroid, again, you see the music and everything. You're right. It's like they didn't miss a beat. Like seriously,
it's
slap sprites on this game. It's gonna come out like 10 years ago.
yeah,
No, 15 years ago. And it would feel the same. It would give me the same vibe. And it's so weird that like it's $60 and it's a 2D game. And I'm like, I'm okay with paying that. I'm okay with that because I like what I'm looking at here. I really, really fucking like this and I want to play it. I cannot wait till this comes out.
because
This looks great.
I haven't been following much about this game, so uh, I'm still like blind as to exactly like how it's gonna play or what it's gonna be. But I feel like I
It's
don't
a
need
it's a
to.
2D Metroid game. It plays
Yeah,
like Samus Returns, the 3DS remake for Samus Returns.
yeah,
It plays like that. And I'm okay with it. I never played that, so I should probably go back and play that 3DS Samus Returns. But I like what I was looking at for Dread, and I really, really want to pick this up. I can't wait till that comes out. That's set to come out August 27th, so that'll be out in like less than a week,
yeah,
and I'm excited. We got to look at Frostpunk 2. I never played the first Frostpunk. I've heard good things. This trailer is mostly like a cinematic trailer, and it's a trip. It's really dark and creepy and kind of fucked up, but I liked it.
yeah.
Um,
Never played
Frost.
Frostpunk, but
Yeah, me neither. It's like a strategy game, right? Or like a strategy survival game.
yeah, I think it's like a strategy like roguelike, um, like FTL, kind of like that, where it's like extremely
Yeah,
fucking difficult.
yeah, and it looks interesting. Like it looks cool. I never played the first one. I'm not a big fan of strategy games, so it's not my cup of tea. But if I was a fan of the first Frostpunk, I would be excited for the sequel because it looks
Yeah,
like it's trying to hit all those major beats the first one did. Then we got to look at the fifth anniversary trailer for No Man's Sky, which it's surprising that was 5 years ago, man.
yeah,
It feels like it feels so much longer ago and more recent at the same time. You know what I mean? Because like how
yeah,
much has been done to it, how hard the story hit when it came out. Like it feels forever ago and like just yesterday at the same time. But they showed off some pretty cool shit with this fifth anniversary update. Um, they showed off some. I know. The only time I played No Man's Sky was with you, and I liked what I was playing. We got to see some cool stuff, and I got to see some fucked up shit too. And seeing some of the cool stuff that they're revealing here, it looks really interesting. Like I was watching in the beginning of it, they had like a Hummer, like all-terrain vehicle you can drive. Um, they showed off No Man's Sky Abyss, which looks like a underwater expansion. I don't know, has that stuff always been there? Can you always do that?
well, no. Throughout the course of this game's life, there basically this video is showing the progress this game's made since launch.
See, I didn't
So
even know all the stuff was in there. I didn't know you can get like mechs. I didn't know you had like a car you can drive. I didn't
yeah,
know any of that shit.
yeah. But no, it didn't launch with any of this stuff.
Yeah, I know it didn't launch with it, but I
But
didn't know this was already in there.
again, it's one of the things where I'm like, all this stuff is like really cool, but none of it addresses the real issue that I had with the game, which was um like the interaction between the character and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So like all the NPCs kind of just purely exist to just I don't know, like sell you things or like trade ships with. They don't really do anything outside of that. And combat, which was a huge thing for me. I think the combat is extremely weak, even though they give you like weapon components and shit like that. You really don't have anything to shoot at, or nothing that shoots at you. At least when you're on foot. There's a lot of like space combat, which is pretty good, but once you're on foot and you have like your gun out, there's nothing to shoot at. So those are like my main concerns about the game. So they're
Yeah.
announcing this Frontiers thing, which is their next free update they're teasing. So we'll find out what that's gonna be. But
Yeah. I would like to see if there's like more stuff to shoot. I know it's not like a shooter game technically, but
yeah,
you
but
know, I got a dumb lizard brain, man. I want to shoot shit.
they give you guns though. At a point, you're
Yeah.
getting like assault rifle components and shotgun components, but you don't really have anything to shoot at unless you piss
Man, let me
something
use that
off.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me use that stuff, man.
Like those
Um,
things, you know how you're like mining and those things come and like look at you and like, hey, dude, um, if you piss those guys off, they have like a GTA tiered system where like you can get like 5 stars, and they start sending like mechs after you, and like the space police comes after you and shit like that. And then that's the only time you really have anything to shoot at, but you really have to like ask for it. You know, it's not like I'm exploring and there's a bounty hunter down here who's like gonna shoot at me if I take his treasure or whatever. Like that
yeah,
never happens. So
yeah, I would
that's
love to see that stuff. Hopefully, we'll see it with Frontiers. Um, excuse me. We also got to look at Black Myth Wukong, a
yeah.
12-minute gameplay test. This looks
Um,
incredible. We talked about this like last year, right? Is when we talked about it
I
last.
think so. Yeah. This is the so they announced officially here that they are using the new brand new Unreal Engine 5 on this game.
It looks
Uh
incredible. It looks
yeah.
incredible. This looks great. One thing we talked about when we talked about it last year, this game kind of took the internet over for a couple weeks. Remember, like it just showed
Yeah.
up and everybody was talking about it, sharing it. It it's got this Dark Souls style like inspiration to it, based on and aesthetically, it's based on Journey to the West, um, with a darker aesthetic to it. What I like about it is the gameplay's very aggressive. It's very fast. As you like to say, it lets you get up in that ass, and I love that.
Yeah.
I really like that. Excuse me. It's got a very aggressive art style. It's got a really aggressive combat style with a dodging and parrying system, and I really, really like it. Graphically, it's beautiful. It's a really pretty game. I love what I'm looking at here with it. This is another one I'm really excited for, dude. I'm really excited for this game. I'm hoping it lives up to the hype. I don't want another fucking cyberpunk situation, but this looks really good. I really like it. And I don't like Souls games, but I really like this.
There's only 2 Souls games that are good. So, and that's Bloodborne and Sekiro.
No, that's just like your opinion, man.
No, that's fact. That is fact, my friend.
Like, look
Um,
at this fight, like about 5 minutes in with that like fucking monkey thing. It looks incredible, dude. Like it's really fast. It's really frantic. I like it a lot. And then like about 7 minutes, he's fighting this like lightning dragon thing that looks really cool. Like, I'm getting Monster Hunter vibes fighting this dragon thing. Like I really, really like it. This game looks cool. I'm excited for it, dude. And again, this shows off Unreal Engine 5 so well too. Like I doubt anybody was skeptical of it with the performance test that Unreal showed off when they first debuted Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
but to see it like in action running on a game,
Well, because it's one of those things, and here I always say this. It's like, yeah, you can make your game look better visually, but what I really want to see is just the whole thing kind of reimagine the way games are made. Like now that we don't have these limitations, you don't have to build your game around those limitations. Of I'm gonna have these hallways, and that's where we're gonna hide our loading so that when you go out into this area, it doesn't have to like load the assets or we can have much wider open areas because we can just
yeah,
load all this shit on the fly. So we don't have to have invisible walls that you can't go past. We don't have to have Don doesn't have to put his fingers to his ear and talk to Marcus while we load, or we don't have to lift up this door and then it closes behind us so we can unload the previous area while so we can load the next area. Like all that stuff can stop because we can
it's so
just do
funny.
everything on the fly.
Yeah, it's so funny you bring it up because like I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but my brother loaned me his PS5, and I've been playing that, and he has Miles Morales, and
Yeah.
I was playing that, and excuse me, even though it's a Spider-Man game, it looks incredible. But the coolest thing is the game loads instantly, so I could like open a door and go into a building and it's seamless. It's just it's like there's no loading screen. There's no like cutscene to like mask the load time. I just swoop in, go inside the door, and then I'm in this building. And same thing other way around. Like I was playing this thing where I was fighting these dudes in a warehouse and I was done. So he goes out through this vent in the roof of the warehouse and he swings up, he Spider-Man's his way up to the vent, shoots himself through with his web. He like bungees his way through. And then within seconds, like it's seamless. I'm out of this warehouse and flying around New York City again. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if you haven't played that game on PS4, it does. It's kind of the same.
It is really.
Yeah, I think
Okay. I
like
haven't
the
seen it.
the initial load is longer on PS4, but once you're in the game, you're kind of just in the game.
Well, another cool thing is like when you're fast traveling, like I don't know if Miles Morales does this, but on the base Spider-Man PS4, the fast travel was a subway system. And when you do it, it would show Spider-Man on the subway, like taking the subway. And it was there to mask the load time, which is loading the other part of the map. With Miles Morales, that's gone. I pick the fast travel section, I go there, cut to the next part of the map without any
Yeah,
load times. It was crazy. Um, But stuff like that, like when I was playing that, I was like, this is a next gen experience. Like that's what I want to see more of. And hopefully we can get that now that hardware is improved. Unreal Engine 5 can show that off because Black Myth Wukong doesn't really show that off. It's just look how pretty this game is. It doesn't show off a lot of the behind the scenes stuff,
yeah,
behind the scenes limitations that we don't have to go through anymore. It looks like it's still like adopting that for get from a game design perspective. But it still doesn't take away from the game. It still looks cool. It still looks fun. I like what I'm looking at. And this is definitely got me interested. Excuse me. Another trailer I didn't think I would ever see, and we got to look at Duke Nukem Begins. Now, this is a animation put together for a
so
canceled Duke Nukem game.
yeah, and so I'm of two minds of this. On one hand, for the time, you got to remember this was what year you say this is 2008.
2008.
Okay, so for the time, uh, this would have been very impressive. Like I would have saw this and been like, "Holy shit, dude! I need this game." Looking at it now, though, I guess with the knowledge we have of today, boy, this looks silly. It's like it's funny just how like bad and like cartoony it looks like the kind of game that they would be playing like in like a TV show where like they need some
Yeah.
footage of a game and like because that this is not what the game is gonna be
Yeah.
like.
It was a proof of concept for it. And I did look this up. Excuse me. They did have a idea where they wanted to make a third person Duke Nukem game. And in the game, you would be controlling two weapons. and there would be a separate aim mode where your character would stand still, and you would use a left stick to control the left weapon, right stick to control the right weapon on a
So
controller.
that's a terrible idea
Well,
because
here's the thing. Hear me out, though. Resident Evil 4 has a separate aiming mode where you stop moving and start aiming. So reincorporate that with this left and right shooting system. I think if the whole game's built around it, it can be done really well. But that would have been coming out
maybe
in 2008. You know,
there's a
that's like what?
game.
Yeah.
There's a game for fuck. What was this on the Wii? Called Drake of the 99 Dragons,
Oh
where
yeah, that was an Xbox, and that game was shit.
Xbox. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, it does like you have two separate guns, but you don't aim them; it auto aims,
yeah.
and all you just see is his arms just flailing the fuck around, just auto aiming at everything, and it just looks so silly. Um, I don't know. Unless like it's an on rails shooter, I don't know if you could like this looks fucking awesome, but
Oh,
it
the
is
way they described it is that it was a separate button, so you would be playing the game like a third-person shooter, and you could shoot like a regular third-person shooter. But there'd be a button you can push that activates like double-handed mode, where you'd have two guns out and you'd be shooting in separate directions, and you use the left stick to control the left side, right stick to control the right side.
yeah,
Um, which again, Resident Evil 4, you hold a button to aim your gun, and when you're aiming, you can't move. That works. That's one of my favorite games. So I think if they adopted a similar gameplay mindset, this can be something really cool. Granted, we'll never see it. This game was canceled,
yeah.
but I would like to play something like that.
The final scene here where he's on the Capitol building, just fucking, and like everything's just
Shooting
coming
off
at him.
invaders. Yeah,
Like this scene is fucking awesome, dude. This is
it is.
awesome. Like
That is awesome.
they really fucking
That's
uh
something you'd see in a serious Sam game, man.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's what they
And
tried to
I'm
do with
okay.
the last game. It just did not.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what you see is in that Serious Sam game, you see all these guys, but like only like two or three of them are real. The rest of them are just like background. You can't. They don't actually exist.
That's so. I
So
remember that. That's frustrating as fuck. This looks cool. I hope this idea gets revisited. Maybe now it's like a full release, but like like a downloadable game. I play it.
yeah, yeah. I check it out. I'm I'm a Duke Nukem fan back in the days. That Duke Nukem 3D game was incredible for me at the time as a 10-year-old playing the game. I've
Referencing a bunch of movies you don't understand.
yeah, and you know, giving money to strippers and having them flash your tits like was very amusing to me as a kid. Uh, so there's a soft spot in my heart for Duke Nukem. Uh, but yeah, I find this pretty hilarious and
Yeah.
awesome at the same time.
Yeah,
And
I would love to see this. I mean, again, hopefully it gets revisited as like a downloadable title. I would play it.
yeah,
I would look
the
into it.
the 4 player part on this is insane.
Yeah.
Like how everyone's just doing like their own like kill move. Like it doesn't. It's not how these games work, man. But yeah,
Well, maybe. I mean, Last of Us has like context sensitive like executions. So, you know,
yeah,
it's
but
not
like in
impossible.
like a co-op game or like everyone has to be accounted for like what they're doing. Like I don't know. And in 2008, I would struggle to imagine. You gotta remember like what was out in 2008, man. Like the PS3 came out in 2008, right? Or 2007.
So 2008, we got GTA 4, Dead
Okay.
Space, Fallout
Okay.
3, Gears of War 2, which Gears of War 2 did have context sensitive executions.
Yeah.
The execution was different depending on the weapon you were holding, or if an enemy was like up against the wall or something, like that was different. So, imagine something like Resident Evil, where you would move and you'd hold like, I don't know, right bumper, or you click right bumper and you enter an aim mode. You can shoot guys up with two different guns using your left and right stick. Maybe if you want, you can shoot a guy like in the leg, drop him down. That'll prompt you to do an execution, which could be different depending on what side of him you're facing, or if they're up against the wall, if there's something else to interact with. It could work. It could
Yeah,
work. Again, I'm basing this all off like Resident Evil 4, which, that came out fucking like when did that come out? 2005, 2006, 2005. And then, Resident Evil 5 had a lot of those context sensitive executions depending on the direction you were facing them. And it threw a lot more enemies at you. And that came out about 2008, 2009, a year later. So it's not impossible.
yeah. I guess my
Yeah.
thing is like I'm taking it like I'm looking at it as they're showing it, which I know this is like a concept. Like it's not, they're not actually saying, "Oh, this is what it's going to be." But like I'm looking at it like as they're showing it, it's not going to work like that. But yeah, of course you can have like context sensitive, but like the way they're showing it is like, oh, you're really like, it's like way more dynamic than you really dream of at this time. But
Yeah, I agree. And I'm thinking of it like, how would this work, like actually existing,
yeah,
actually
yeah,
playing?
yeah.
And what I got in my brain is like setting off some dopamine, dude. Like, again, I'm basing it all off like Resident Evil 4 and 5. It's with this like twin shooting mechanic, and I'm excited thinking about it. Um, I'm excited thinking about it. We'll have to wait and see if like anyone does do anything with it. I doubt it's ever gonna happen, but
Or if we
I
ever
think it'd
get
be
another
worth
Duke
looking
Nukem
at
again.
if we do. Yeah.
And then
Who knows, man?
Quake.
We're in that like boomer shooter like renaissance right now, so it's not impossible.
Yeah, because the QuakeCon's happening right now, and
Yep.
they just re-released Quake, man,
Yep.
for everything.
Everything.
And
Everything. It's
this came
available
out
right
of
now.
nowhere. Yeah, right
Yeah.
now. Actually, if you already own Quake on Steam, this is just an update. So literally for that '90s game, they've put out this update, and you can just do this now. Enhanced visuals. It's got online and split screen co-op, which is fucking insane. Cross platform. So you know what we're doing next Friday, my dude? Getting some Quaking.
I'm down, dude.
Oh wait, you're not gonna
How
be
much
here
is
though.
it? I'm not gonna be here. Damn it, you're right. I'm gonna be in Alaska.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's on
Well,
Game Pass. Uh, so I don't know how much it's Quake. It's like $3. uh, it's literally the original game. It's just an update for that. So I can't imagine they're charging anything above like $5 for this at this point.
yeah.
But
And not
um,
just that, but what's really funny with the trailer, if you look at the first line, it's like reintroducing the dark fantasy FPS. And the next line is that inspires today's retro shooters.
yeah,
And which is funny to me because like you hear that it's not like, oh, it's inspired modern shooters. It's like, no, that retro shooter game you were playing, that retro shooter indie game you're playing on Steam, yeah, it's inspired by Quake. It's not like appealing to like gaming historians. It's like, hey, did you play Dusk on Steam? Yeah, Quake did it first. Did you play like Painkiller? Quake did it first.
yeah. But
And
also
I think
like
that's so funny.
they don't say it here in this trailer, but they also put out Quake 2 and Quake 3 Arena is also on Game Pass now. Um, and those games also inspired, you know. Quake 3 Arena, again, as a child, as a young boy, that was my shit, dude. I
I remember
I wasn't good at the game, but like I
that.
would
You're
play like
telling
the
me about it.
shareware version. I would play like the free version
Yeah.
nonstop, dude.
Yeah, you told me like when what was that game? Diabolical came out. You were all excited because it was like a Quake inspired game.
Yeah, and they
And
don't like make arena shooters like this anymore. Like this and Unreal Tournament, man, were like fucking my shit, dude.
yeah.
Uh, on PC,
Well,
I never
maybe,
thought about it.
when I get back into town, man, we can it's on Game Pass. You can download
Yeah,
Quake. I can
I
run through
I,
some Quake 3 Arena.
I never really like reminisced about like my past PC gaming experience because I never had a PC. I never had like a gaming PC
Yeah, same.
as you would like describe it now. But back in those days, it didn't take much. I mean, it kind of did for some games, but like all we had was like a little like store bought fucking beige piece of shit that like my parents just got to do like work on and taxes and shit. But I would go on there and just like install just shareware, Duke Nukem 3D,
Hmm.
and Quake, and all the free shit that you can get. Tribes was my shit, like, and it was just all work on that shit, and I played a lot of that, but I never really thought about it. Like, yeah, I guess I was technically like a PC gamer, and at those times, but
Now
yeah,
it's back,
this
man. You can relive those glory days.
yeah, this is very nostalgic for me.
Yeah, as a jaded man in his late 20s, you could relive those glory days when you were a little chitlin playing on your
um,
your parents' tax computer.
yeah.
Ah, this is cool. I never had that. I didn't play it when I was a kid. I didn't get into like PC gaming until I was much older, and I like seeing this. Like they don't make games like this anymore, dude. Like this
They
scratches
really
an itch.
don't.
You
Yeah,
can't get anywhere else. Like I'm gonna check this out. It sucks I'm not gonna be here to play it with you next week, but oh well.
no problem. We'll get it in when we can get it.
Yeah, dude, it looks dope. I'm excited. It's cool to see it here. And again, on Game Pass. We're not sponsored by Microsoft, man, but fucking
It's on
go.
Game
Go
Pass,
pick up
but
Game
like you
Pass.
can literally buy this game for like $1.50, so it's not
Or
like
or you can spend an extra like $3 and get like a month of Game Pass.
yeah, but they're it's on everything though.
Yeah,
So that's I guess that's the beauty of like this specifically is that you can just get you already have Quake on Steam. I'm sure everyone does. So
I don't.
it's literally just you don't.
No, I don't.
Okay, well,
I'm in the minority here.
oh, it's
I
ten
have
dollars.
I think it's worth it for ten
That's
dollars.
insane because
Yeah.
Quake 1 is $10, but literally like Quake 2 is $1.50. Quake 3 Arena is $4.49. Quake 4 is $4.49. Quake Live is $2.99. For some reason Quake 1 right now, original Quake is $10.
That's the one people are buying, dude.
That I don't understand.
I know. It looks cool. I'm excited to see this. I really like this got announced and it's out now. We also got some new game releases we can talk about. Aliens Firestorm Elite is coming out August 23rd, so in 2 days for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. I forgot this was happening.
Yeah.
I remember this got announced. It looked cool. Left 4 Dead with aliens, and then it's coming out in 2 days, and I've heard anything about it since that first like initial release trailer or that first announcement. And I'm a little worried, if I'm being honest with you. I'm a little worried they
uh,
haven't talked about it since that first like announcement, or at least I haven't heard anything about it since then.
I don't know.
Um,
It might be all right.
it might be. We'll have to wait and see what the reviews say. Comes out in 2 days, so we'll see some reviews soon. We
This
also got. Oh yeah,
I was gonna say like Aliens is like one franchise they could just not make a proper game of. Like they did the
yeah,
one like Alien Isolation was like the one, and then like every other Alien game has just been garbage. So
yeah. We'll have to wait and see what reviews come out with this, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. We got King's Bounty 2 is coming out. Again, everything on the 23rd, PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One. That's another one that's like it's a turn-based RPG.
I'm out.
It's more like a strategy game on like an octagon, like or like a hexagonal grid. It looks cool. It's not my cup
Sure,
of tea. It's like definitely not my cup of tea.
absolutely.
Excuse me. As cool as it looks, it's not my thing. Um, then we got Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 out on PS5. Doesn't I didn't know there was another one of these. I
This
didn't
one
even know
like
this was
this one came out
yeah.
like a month or two ago.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, this is the one where we talked about like when it hit. on PC, and I was like, wow, this actually looks. I was like, I put it in my wish list. Like, I'm probably gonna like check this out.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. It kind of reminded me of like because I just started replaying Metal Gear Solid 5 and it reminded me of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This
okay.
game looks all right.
Yeah. It doesn't look bad. It looks very like B list for sure, but
Yeah,
not a bad B list. Like it knows what it's trying to do and it's doing it. Like, okay, this might not be bad then. It's out on PS5 on the 23rd, so go check it out. It's only $40 right now on Steam, so you know, you know what you're getting into. You're paying $40.
you can get it for 25 right now on Fanatical.
Oh, there you go.
So
Fucking love Fanatical so much.
yeah,
Fanatical's great. Again, not sponsored by Fanatical, just a great website if you want to pay the lowest price for your games. That's everything coming out the 23rd. And the 25th, we have Murder Mystery Machine coming out for PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. This one looks like a trip.
yeah,
It's isometric detective adventure game. It looks interesting. Again, I never heard of this game until today when I looked at the show notes, and it looks cool. Again, not my cup of tea, but I like what I'm looking at here. And if you're a fan of the adventure game genre, this might be right up your alley.
it's got a
Excuse me.
strategy tag on it. I'm not. I'm.
Yeah, that's it for you. Um, and then Psychonauts 2 is also coming out the 25th.
Yes.
Do we need to say anything about that? It's Psychonauts 2. If you've never heard of Psychonauts, it's well, the first one was a collectathon like platformer, but a really, really good collectathon platformer. With all about like psychic energy and entering people's dreams and stuff. All the stuff you collect like had to do with like their emotional state. It's really neat. It's really cool. I really liked it. I haven't beaten the first one yet. I gotta go back and replay it. And I'm honestly surprised Psychonauts 2 is even happening. It's
Yeah.
what timeline are we living in? This is happening.
And I backed this game on Fig, so I think I've got like a physical like copy coming in. I got a digital copy coming in, but it's
Oh,
also gonna be on Game Pass, so maybe I'll just give those away.
there you go. I'll keep the physical copy at
Oh yeah,
least. Like,
definitely, definitely.
but yeah, this looks cool. This looks really cool. And August 26th, we got Hotel Life, a resort simulator, because that's what we
Yes.
needed. It's a simulation game. You can build and manage your own resort, keep guests happy, and make money. There's not a lot to say about it. It's a resort. It's a resort game.
One of those
Then we got Splunk.
chill like
Yeah.
simulator games, like Power Wash Simulator. It's like I'm assuming it's one of those. Yeah.
Excuse me. And then releasing simultaneously, we got Splunky and Splunky 2, dropping August 26th for the Switch. These games have already been out on pretty much everything until now. I like Splunky. I played the first one on PlayStation 4 and on my Vita back when, Vitas were still a thing. And it's a fun game. And it's cool to see that they're dropping simultaneously. Get the first game and its sequel dropping on Switch now. Those are both set to come out the 26th. If you haven't played it yet, it's definitely worth it. I like Splunky. It's a fun game.
I could just never get into Splunky, man.
I
Not that.
I saw the appeal of it and I liked what I was playing, but I wasn't obsessed with it like I was with like Hades, like Binding of Isaac, or those other
Yeah.
roguelikes.
But
But
see, but
it's not a bad game.
Binding of Isaac for me, I also didn't get into until like I got like high as fuck one day and just forced myself to play it because it was all I had, and then I fell in love with it. And that was like one of my favorite games of all time. Uh, but the thing about Binding of Isaac, though, and I'm not sure if Spelunky does, but Binding of Isaac has like Steam Workshop support. So like whatever I didn't like about Binding of Isaac, I could just fix by just downloading mods. Spelunky doesn't have mod support, so I think maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's out on Switch now, so I don't. It's definitely not gonna have mod support on that version. But if you want a fun roguelite, Splunky's definitely one. I'd rather, if you're gonna get a roguelite at all, get Hades. But
Oh yeah.
Splunky's up there. Excuse me. We also got releasing on the 27th. We got Baldo coming out for PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. This looks cool. It's an action RPG, but it's very much it looks Zelda inspired.
Yep.
Not, modern Zelda, but like old school 2D Zelda. It very much has that inspiration to it. With this really nice art style. Reminds me of like God damn it, that game, the Studio Ghibli game that just came out. They got a sequel about a year or
Oh,
two
the
ago.
Wrath of the White Bitch.
Nino Kuni, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that art style, but with like a 2D, like isometric look. And it's cool. I like it. This is definitely it looks interesting and it's on my wish list right now. Then we got No More Heroes 3. That's coming out on Switch. I forgot this was coming out, if I'm being honest with you. Not the game's fault. It's just, a lot of stuff's been coming out. So I just forgot about it. And they have been releasing like gameplay videos, trailers, and stuff since the game was announced. They've released a ton of stuff to show it off. And I kind of went back, checked it out, and it looks really, really cool, dude. I tried playing the first No More Heroes on my Switch. I'm gonna be honest, man, it's rough. It's a rough game to get through. For reasons I'm not gonna go into right now, but it's a really rough game to get through. Everyone tells me the sequel's way better, so I'm gonna try to get to that eventually. But No More Heroes 3 looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a hack and slash, like action game. Really crazy fucking art style and all this crazy stuff going on while you're fighting. It looks really cool.
I
It looks like a lot of
forgot
fun.
that this is what this game was, dude. This looks
Yeah,
absolutely fucking incredible.
yeah, dude.
I completely
They just released a
forgot.
gameplay video like yesterday with one of their boss
Really?
fights. If you check that out, yeah. Here, let me put
I
it in
don't
the
even want to
stream.
look at any of this anymore because I'm sold.
Just look at the gameplay because that's what we play games for, right? It's the gameplay.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
exactly.
And I put up the gameplay trailer or a gameplay video. They just released this yesterday. It's a look at one of their bosses in the game, and it looks really, really cool, man.
I don't even want to look at it, dude. This is why you come to Suda 51 is like,
The weird, crazy shit. Yeah.
yeah. Well, this whole like beginning thing that's happening, uh, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Is that the original or the extended one?
This is the original.
Yeah, there's like an
But
extended one that's
I don't
like
even want to see
8 minutes
anything else.
long.
I'm kind of like
Well,
just
the extended one's like all story stuff. It doesn't show off any gameplay. It's basically the video you're watching right now, but longer
yeah.
with more like context. Like it feels like a short film the way it shows it off,
Yeah,
and it's
I'll see it
crazy.
when I play it, I think.
Yeah, it looks crazy. This is coming out, very soon, man. This is
Yeah.
set to drop on the 27th, less than a week. So
Friday, is that?
yeah. So there you go. I'm gonna go back and replay the first two before I get to this one. But this looks really cool. And I really like what I'm looking at.
The Evil
We
Prince
all
FU is
yeah.
the is his name FU or is it
I
Foo?
think it's Foo. It's pronounced
Okay.
Foo.
Yeah, I need to play all these games because now they've re-released all of them on Steam. So
Are they all on Steam now, really?
yeah,
I didn't know that. I knew like it was on Switch. I didn't know it was on Steam though. Oh, they did. Cool. That's cool.
yeah, I'm gonna have to dive into that.
And then also coming out on the 27th, Tormented Souls, which we played on the demo derby
Yeah.
a couple weeks back. And this was cool. We liked it. Well, I liked it. I don't know how you felt about it.
Oh no, I liked it. I liked it, but Yeah, I felt like that. I wanted more when we
Yeah.
finished that demo. So
Well, there you go. It's coming out the 27th, and I don't see a price on this game. How much is it?
there's no price.
I remember when I saw this, like when we first got into this, I was like, "What the fuck is this game?" Because it
Yeah,
opens up with like some titties. So I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, what are we getting into, dude?" But no, it's actually like pretty good. It's like
yes,
really old school Resident Evil. The puzzles are really, really good. The puzzles require more thought than you'd expect, but less thought than would make it frustrating.
yeah.
And it's really, really good. It's really, really good. I've been talking about this game a lot, by the way, since we played on the demo derby. Like this game has come up a lot with some friends of mine who are also big Resident Evil fans, and I've showed it off to them, and like I've shown off the that clip from the demo derby for it, and it looks really good. I really, really want to pick this up. This one's already on my wish list. That's set to come out August 27th. I'm probably not gonna get to play that for a while though, because I'll be playing a ton of other games and I'll be out of town. But this looks dope. This looks really good.
Yeah.
I really liked what I was looking at. And oh, that's it for the show, man. That's everything.
Gonna do it. Um, yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
That's yeah, it's gonna do it for the show. I guess you can find us guys on the internet. Um, we're on Gameoverse.com, Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube, Gameoverse.com/Discord, Gameoverse.com/Discord. You can go on there and you can go on there and talk to us and shit. Um, I'm always throwing up some videos of things that I find
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe no one else finds interesting, but it's cool stuff that I think. Um,
Come check us out on the Discord. We always respond. It's pretty light, so everyone gets a response when they post on the Discord.
yeah, we chill out in there. Um, gonna be playing some games throughout the week. Definitely gonna check out 12 Minutes. That's on Game
Oh
Pass.
yeah.
So, I need to finish Skyward Sword. I've
Oh
had
yeah.
no motivation to play that game. I'm the biggest Zelda fan on the planet, and I still don't even want to
Sport sucks. That's why.
It's frustrating to play, man. I've not find either control scheme to be sufficient for enjoying that game. I think
So you
every
gotta play it on the
way.
Wii, dude.
What
So you gotta play it on the Wii.
on the? Oh, maybe if you could use a tablet to swipe, that actually might work.
I was gonna say Wii, not Wii U.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
no,
play
because
it the way God
you can play it
intended.
with the motion controls on Switch. I just haven't tried it yet, so. But yeah, it might actually be better than the sticks because the sticks are just not. You can't do what you got to do with the sticks. Um, but yeah, go to our YouTube channel. Everything we ever stream is archived on there, so you can go on there.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever miss a stream, you ever miss whatever we're doing, it's on the YouTube. So go in there and check it out. Road 96 is on there.
Oh
So
yeah.
check that out because that game's actually pretty interesting. Or play it yourself, because it's very much your own story. So your own choices dictate that game. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it, people. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks everybody.